pair of great blue herons on their nest. This is a familiar sight in beaver ponds across New Hampshire in the spring. Great blue herons have come back from their wintering grounds south of here and are building stick nests, sitting on eggs and raising young. Just one of the many species that beaver ponds attract. Another one is calling from across the marsh. You may hear a high-pitched chirping call. It's not being given by a songbird, though. That is the call of an osprey. There is a pair nesting out here. Let's see if we can take a look at it. There it is. Teed up on top of a large stick nest. You may be able to make out a dark back, pale below. The osprey is calling to its mate. Must be time to take over the shift. Oh, here comes the mate now. Looks like we're going to do an exchange here. She's not ready to go yet. Oh, here comes another bird with a fish. 3 ospreys here. This is not a good thing. There's an interloper. She's being chased off the nest. And now the chase is on. The nest is vacant. Oh, here comes an adult with the fish. Probably the rightful owner. Coming back to the area with the fish, but it landed elsewhere. So, some drama at the osprey nest today. I'm Phil Brown with New Hampshire Audubon. I wanted to take you on a journey to a beaver pond near where I live and show you what's nesting around me. The 2 ospreys are doing a little bit of graceful scuffling, flying around. Mostly chirping at each other right now. Haven't seen any physical contact. But just some of the drama that occurs around nesting season. Heron nests in the foreground. Herons and ospreys often nest in the same areas. Herons like to be in colonies together. They're colonial. They nest in rookeries or heronries. Get out of the wind here a little bit. I'll give them a little space to do their thing. And let's poke into the edge of the woods here at this beaver pond. Check out the cavity I just discovered. Clearly a tree that's riddled with holes. Old holes from pileated woodpeckers. These are not nest holes, rather feeding holes. This one's a lot fresher. You can tell by the reddish inner bark. The pileateds have been eating carpenter ants in this tree. You can find some evidence by looking at their scat below. These little dark pellets is what's left. Evidence of carpenter ants that were digested by the woodpeckers. Woodpeckers make cavities for other species in beaver ponds too, such as wood ducks and hood mergansers. And northern flickers also nest in beaver swamps. Tree swallows use their cavities quite a bit. You can tell we're in a beaver swamp setting here. Here's a chewed tree, an old tree. Lots of dead standing trees, another telltale sign. Song sparrow singing near me, as well as a raspy sounding chickadee. There's some muddy scent mounds. This is a castor mound left by beavers. Beavers mark their territories on the edge of beaver ponds with the scent that comes from their scent glands. At the base of my scope and at the edge of the pond here, you can see where beavers have chewed sticks, feeding on the outer bark. The ospreys are chirping away. A yellow-rumped warbler flies over, common bird in migration. And a mourning dove cooing softly on the edge of the pond. Looking for turtles and frogs, common creatures that like to be on the logs, sunning themselves. But instead, let's take a look at the sky. Waterfowl, such as Canada geese, nest in beaver swamps. Also mallards, American black ducks, the cavity nesting ducks that I mentioned earlier, which were hood merganser and wood duck. It's Canada gooses being uncharacteristically quiet. I'm sure it sees me, but it's not alarmed right now. It probably doesn't want to give away its nesting location. And the graceful great blue heron, one of which is perched, taking a little break next to the Beaver Lodge. Doing a little preening, a necessary function. Rest, which is also a necessary function. Look at those beautiful plumes, long feathers that hang from the neck. A breeding display. Those little blips going by were tree swallows zipping by, feeding low over the water, trying to catch bugs on this chilly spring day. Great blue heron in breeding season has a long orange bill. Bright orange indicates the height of breeding season. And those feathers was the reason the herons and egrets used to be hunted. They were hunted almost to extinction. Thanks to efforts led by many of the early Audubon societies, including New Hampshire Audubon, herons and other wading birds are now protected. As I pan to the right here, you can see a massive Beaver Lodge. This is where the beavers live. It has several underwater entrances. Big sticks and lots of mud. And that giant lodge is about 15 feet across. I've been out there in the winter. Let's see what else is going on out here on the edge. Yeah, back to a heron's tending to its nest. So nesting season began around here in early to mid-April. It's now early May. They should still be on eggs. Young should be hatching soon though. And by late June, they'll be almost ready to fly. One on top, the heron on top of the tree here, looks like it's doing a little nest maintenance. The one on the bottom is incubating, sitting on those eggs, keeping them warm. And herons do like to be in these loose colonies. This particular colony has 6 nests that seem to be active, and the one osprey nest, which is a bonus. Bird that doesn't nest here every year. Past years, a great horned owl has nested in this swamp. So ospreys used to be a threatened species in New Hampshire. They're now doing quite well. We have probably about 200 pairs of ospreys in the state. That's New Hampshire Audubon's estimate. Thanks to efforts led by Audubon and the state of New Hampshire, ospreys, eagles, and peregrine falcons are now doing much better than they have historically. I wanted to tell you a little bit about an effort coming up this weekend to celebrate migratory birds and all birds around us. May 9th is World Migratory Bird Day and New Hampshire Audubon's local Birdathon Challenge. We'll have people going out all over the state in their own backyards, local wildlife preserves, local favorite trails, taking walks, recording bird species that they find, all in an effort to celebrate birds, to have fun, to collect data, and to fundraise for New Hampshire Audubon's important work protecting New Hampshire's natural environment for wildlife and people. I hope you consider participating in the Birdathon or consider donating to it. For more information, check out www.nhaudubon.org. I hope you enjoyed this field trip to the Beaver Swamp, and happy bird watching.